What is up, everyone? In this video, I'm going to be sharing a few tips that may help you improve your slingshot skills. Stick around. Thanks for clicking on the video, my friend. I hope you find 411 Outdoors resourceful and helpful. If so, I'd love to have you as a subscriber and will greatly appreciate it. Now let's get started. To me, it doesn't get much more relaxing than getting outside and shooting my slingshot. It's just a great way to enjoy some quiet marksmanship. So many of us love marksmanship, and this is just a good way to do it quietly, to engage in that area. I live in a residential area here, a lot of houses around. I've got good woods back here and some good countryside, but it's still a little too connected to a neighborhood to be out here shooting a firearm. So I can't really enjoy that side of marksmanship. In my neighborhood, I have to go to other places for that. But with my slingshot, it's open season. And it's very rewarding. For me, I like to work on hitting smaller and smaller targets over time, over a great distance. And, looking forward to doing some hunting this fall as well, some squirrel hunting. So when you get into slingshot hunting, you definitely want to tighten up your marksmanship. You don't want to wound the animal. We want to make it quick. And that's kind of like what motivates me to get better and better with my slingshot. I don't know what motivates you. Maybe you've just gotten into it. Maybe it's something that you dabble with a little bit. Maybe you have been shooting and you're a little discouraged over constantly missing your target, which is really easy to do. Getting sharp and accurate with a slingshot is not necessarily an easy thing. It takes a lot of practice. Well, I want to encourage you and give you some tips that I think will help make you a better marksman with your slingshot. Just like with anything, if you're not having any success with something over a long period of time, you start to lose interest in it. A lot of times our interest is piqued by, having some success and getting better and better. It just motivates us. When we start having a little bit of success, we start longing for more and more success. And a lot of people give up on things just because they just think to themselves, I'm no good at this. I've taken people out to shoot slingshots and they were really stoked about it in the beginning. And then after like 30 minutes of not being able to hit the target much, they were ready to just pack it up and go. Maybe you're in that state today. Well, here's the good news. The good news is that you can get good at shooting a slingshot, and I'm gonna give you a few tips that'll help you out. Tip number one, you may be shooting too many slingshots. Sometimes it can have an effect on your accuracy when you're shooting a bunch of different slingshots instead of getting good at one. Some slingers out there may disagree with me. You've got some guys that like to shoot a lot of different slingshots for different things. And that's cool, and I think that's a lot of fun, but I think one of the first things that we need to do is start developing some accuracy, because again, that's what's going to keep you coming back for more. I used to shoot all these different slingshots. I'd go from the Axiom Ocularis, from Simple Shot to the Scout to the Torque to my making one natural fork slingshot after the next. It was fun, but I found myself being inconsistent with all of them. I started getting more and more accurate and consistent when I chose one slingshot to start really honing my skill in. That's what caused me to start developing more accuracy. Find a slingshot that feels good in your hand and stick with that one for a while. Tip number two, make sure the bands that you're using are not too heavy. In the beginning, you don't want really heavy bands. You don't want bands that are harder to pull back, because that creates more recoil. And recoil can throw your shot if you're, not used to it. So it's good to start out with lighter bands. So just make sure that you're working with something that's easy to pull back in the beginning. Tip number three, set yourself up an environment where you can practice all you want to. You don't want to be worried about shooting your ammo away. In the beginning, I was buying ammo and shooting it away. It doesn't take any time to do that. I did a tutorial on my YouTube channel on how to make a catch box, a way to set up a target and shoot it into a box to catch your ammo so that you can preserve your ammo. A lot of times inside the house in my basement, I just shoot those little clay rounds. Point is, you need a way to be able to shoot a lot. You need to be able to shoot, because practice is what's going to get you there. And if you're concerned about, salvaging your ammo, you can create a catch box. I got a tutorial out there. Mine's okay. There's a lot better tutorials on YouTube on how to make a catch box for your slingshot ammo. Nevertheless, you just want to make sure that you're setting yourself up an environment where you can practice a lot. Tip number 4, close the distance a little bit. Get a little closer. Get a little closer to your target. You know, don't try to have unrealistic goals in the beginning. If you're shooting, 30 feet away in the beginning, you'll miss a lot. That's a good distance for a slingshot. Close the distance a little bit more and see if that helps. Always use your eye protection. Slingshots, the potential of ricochet is huge. So protect your eyes and just close in the distance a little bit. Try getting closer and see if that helps. Tip number 5, and probably the most obvious, the way you're holding your slingshot. For me, I like to shoot in the gangster position, sideways. I know some people like, upright like this. I don't shoot that way, so I can't really instruct you on how to do it if that's how you shoot. But if you're shooting gangster style, I can talk to you. So one of the main things you want to make sure of is that the slingshot's not twisted this way or this way. That's very common to do that. You want to make sure the slingshot's upright, okay? And you want to draw it back just like you would archery. You're not doing this, okay? You want to draw it straight back and find an anchor point, just like that. A nice anchor point standing from the side. You want to have a sideways stance, just like you were shooting a bow. It's like shooting a little bow. But you want to make sure it's not tilted. You want to make sure it's straight and that you've got a good anchor point. Tip number 6, let me get some ammo and show you. Don't pinch in front of the ammo. Like don't pinch the knot in front of the ammo. You want to grip the ammo between your thumb and index so that the ammo can fly out. You see the difference between that and this? If you do this, it's got to leap over your index finger. Okay, you want to kind of get it in the back and pinch between your thumb. You can pinch between your thumb and your index, because if you're pinching in front of it, it's got to leap over your finger. Last but not least, when you fire, don't do this, okay? That's easy to do. It's easy to, no, just when you fire, hold your position, okay? And hold it tighter so you don't recoil as much as I just did right there. Pull it back, hold your position. There you go. Hope you found this information helpful, my friend. Thanks for watching the video. Happy shooting.